This is your host, Joe Saz, and today I'm joined by a very special guest. Fabian, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, my name is Fabian. Pleasure meeting you all. I'm here with Joe. He invited me today. We came together and created the Discord and wanted to give you all some good new tools and insights that will hopefully help everyone here to improve their trading and increase the odds. That's our goal here.
Yeah, so yeah, I kind of gave, thank you so much. And I gave a brief introduction earlier. So if anyone has any questions or you have anything you want to mention, don't hesitate to throw a comment in the YouTube comments here. And you can always chase us back in the Discord channel where we're pretty active. Today, for example, had a nice little conversation in there. So you guys, I really want you to be jumping into the Discord channel. It's like a really good place where I can communicate with you all and we can all communicate together. And especially having Fabian, sorry, I'm kind of like saying it like some doofy accent there, huh?
No worries, doing good.
So yeah, the point is there's going to be some activity in there, and as active as the Telegram used to be a while back, I kind of hope to see the Discord channel get that tight, So anyways, one thing I'll just ask a couple more questions to set the stage here, and then we'll move into some better, more specific discussions. So tell us a little bit of a background on, you said you did the Discord and you did the website and you did these bots. And can you tell us a bit about how long you've been doing stuff like this? I mean, obviously I'm impressed you put it all together so quickly, but the bot, for example, how long have you been into that kind of stuff and trading in general?
Yeah, so basically I'm 28 years old and I came across crypto when I was 16, so it's quite some time ago. And since then I tried to figure out how to, let's call it, how to beat the markets. Of course, lost a ton of money in all of that process. Took me some years, and finally I managed to automate some of my strategies, which I've been successfully using for the last couple of years, 4 years. And I came across the idea of why not just automating them in a simple way with TradingView, 3 commas, and later also I'm currently making it in Python and C#. And we also do have a software company in Dubai, which is pretty helpful with that background in terms of development. And yeah, you already saw some of the work, and I think you like it somehow.
Yeah, of course. And I'm sure we'll be talking more about the presets and the various things that you can do to kind of specialize the charts to make it look a little more better on some assets and timeframes than others. So we'll delve into some of that here in screen sharing a bit, but we don't actually have any questions right now. So why don't we kind of move along, do some quick screen share. Why don't we do this? Why don't we do something kind of fun here? I'll do a quick market update just for everyone who popped in, who's curious about price, and then we'll kind of jump to your outlook and then discuss that and your algo for the rest of the show. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, so let me just get this thing open. Screen share is now active. All right, so just for everyone who's curious about what I see in the charts after today's show this morning, we've just pretty much gone sideways. This happened recently. I'm a little curious about that little reach for the sky that was rejected. We're higher low, same low, higher high. So that's the most relevant thing that we have here is a local higher high and still tons of support in this 20 high $25,000 range to mid $25,000 range. So nothing's really changed except that since this morning we've had a higher high and we're now sitting at a decent support zone. This general area is looking good. We could channel here for a little bit. So all right, that's pretty much what I see. All right, dailies, nothing to see there. All right, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And then why don't we start with do you have a Bitcoin US dollar chart you could start with, and we'll talk about your outlook on the market? Fabian?
Sorry, was muted.
Okay.
Yep, definitely. That's the first chart I wanted to show you.
Excellent.
Let's see if it works. Do you see my chart?
Yeah, we got you.
Perfect. So right now I got the Shark algo. That's one of the algorithms we developed. It's two scripts. One of them is called the Shark algo long and short, separated in two ones. With one, you only go long, and with the other one, you only go short. So this one is right now applied on the daily chart on Bitcoin, as you can see here. One is for the daily and one is for the 4 hours chart. And you also got the backtester, where you can see the win rate. So far, it closed 12 trades on the daily chart and has a winning rate profitability of 91.67%. So in that case, tells us we got a short signal here, which I took, of course, at 26,602 US dollars. And we got a 91% probability that we will go down from this point on here in the chart. With an average trade, so usually whenever these signals come up, we can expect a drawdown of about 14%, which would lead us into the area of 22,500 USD. That's my take on BTC. And then if we look down further into it, I enabled now an indicator which gives me an indication about vector candle zones. Vector candle zones are candles that are high volume, which means market makers push price up or down in order to grab liquidity of the markets. And we got a pretty good looking zone here, this box here, which is also another good indication in combination with my signal that we will probably go back down into this area, and then let's see what happens from this point on. But this is definitely a zone that is in my line of sight for BTC in the near future.
So are you saying in coming weeks, before the year end, what are your thoughts?
There's not much thoughts about it, to be honest, because I have the data here. So the average bars in trade gives me an indication on how long the trade occurs. This is just an average. So right now we are 37 bars into the trade. And usually after 33 bars, we see the move actually coming. So this should happen pretty soon. Maybe even this week, midweek, Wednesday could be a possibility, midweek reversal.
So you're on standby for this thing to start running away from us.
Exactly. And also increased positions here when we touch the 50 EMA cloud on the daily chart.
So can I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
The probability of a correct move is very high, and you wouldn't say that it's already done that. Like in your mind, for example, the closed position on the left hand side toward the bottom end of that candle. Yeah, to the left there, right before Bitcoin started ripping to the upside, to the left, more in June, between June and July.
This one here.
Yeah. So listen,
this one was a
that one. So are you waiting for a position to close, or is this thing going to keep you in? Hey, and what's up, Mel? Just saying hi. And what's up, Jackknife? And what's up, Phil? Good to see you all. Thanks so much for joining us here. And again, thank you, Fabian, for joining us, for obviously stepping out into the spotlight with me, and hopefully we have a good enough time here, and run a couple more shows in the next coming weeks. I think especially now that you and I are kind of looking at the chart with two different things going on. I think it's actually going to be kind of fun. It's actually more fun to me when you have two people that see two different things in the chart, because there's only one right answer. So
definitely.
Yeah, it gets exciting, if anything. So, all right. So you're waiting for a close position signal, and which is not what happened on the middle of September with that lower low. We didn't get a closed position signal there. So in your mind, we are still in the short position, even though we got wicked out maybe once, maybe twice or whatever. Right now, probably at about break even or just in the profit. And so you're waiting for that closed position trade signal, and you're thinking that's going to be coming in potentially in the next few weeks, more likely on the sooner end than the later end, at a target price of around in the low 20,000s. Let's just do an average 23,000 right there, 22.5 to 23,000. And
Yeah.
that's based on the volume that preceded this past few months of action.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Exactly.
All right.
And let me show you the 4 hours chart actually.
Oh,
Also, you can see right here in the 4 hours chart, we had a successful trade. The entry was here, exit was here, so it was spot on. Also has an 80% probability of, win rate on the 4 hours chart. And we recently opened another short position right here at 26,150, which gives me also a good indication that we go at least back to this candle here, to this blue zone. So as long, in my opinion, as long as we are moving into this area here, let me mark it down for you, into this area between 27K and 25K, we do have a good probability of go down back into the 22K range, 22,000K range.
Okay. I just jumped back in. I'm sorry. I had to take a phone call here. So I see, good trade there, good trade there. Looking at what we have now, we went into another short position. So, all right. Yeah, it's definitely interesting on the 4 hour. Now, we have support in the order book and all the way down. So what you're saying is a lower low is going to be a liquidity hunt. Basically, some whales out there want more corn. All the liquidity stacked in the sub 25K range. I mean, we can just take one look at the book and see, and we've done this over the past number of weeks, that it's thick as hell down there. So you're saying this would be, conceptualized by a whale who really wants to absorb that liquidity, less so than a market, panic or some sort of situation that is truly justified.
Exactly. I mean, the whole game is about stacking BTC and getting as much liquidity from the retail trader as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I mean, we definitely agree on that it's a game of big players, a game of whales, and we're just lucky to stay alive in between all that if we develop a good enough strategy, which hopefully we have. And this might be I think this is actually a really good test coming out the gate to see, all right, book is stacked, and the trade that was taken earlier, good trade, right? How many times is it going to be a good trade if we hit the same spot? And that just falls into the concept of skipping a stone across the water. Eventually stone's probably going to plunge more likely than it is to make it to the other side of the lake and you start skipping its way up a mountain, right? So I'm definitely curious. Yeah, we'll have to pay attention to this one. Obviously, it'll be great if this thing pans out, and yeah, it'll be great for the proof of algo concept,
Definitely. I mean, I also got some.
You have a
some
question,
other.
actually. Want me to throw this at you real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Big Ugly, what's up, my friend? Big Ugly asks, what conditions go into entering and exiting positions?
So it's all based on the chandelier exit, and entry and exits also get determined by ATR period. And also in combination out of the SALMA, slow moving indicator. So those are my entry conditions, which I've made into a script, including with the backtester, so we can play with all of the values and see how the values actually perform in real life.
Excellent. If you get any other questions, I'll kind of jump in at at a decent time and ask you. So for now, it looked like you wanted to move along and show a couple charts. I say we take a look at those and then talk a bit about the presets and what can be done to make them better, and what people can do to really try to use this bot. But then for all those that are curious cats and experimental, what can be done to really make it your own, which I think is a very valuable part of this indicator.
Exactly. Let me actually move on to Ethereum. Funny thing that we got a BTC short signal and on Ethereum a long signal. This doesn't mean it's contradictory. Did I say that right? I think so.
Yeah, that was good enough. The second time,
okay,
I think. Yeah.
Good. You understand.
Yeah.
So on the Ethereum chart, it's more likely a scalping bot that I made, which made this year so far. You can see it's from January the 1st until today's date, 230% in profits with a profitability of 76.77% and a drawdown of 19.8%. This is making super good scalps also in the boring sideways markets. And as you can see, average trade performance is 0.7%. So it's quite decent. This is something that you can just set up one time and let it run for a year and forget about it. Make passive income. It's pretty good for it. You can also hook it up with free commerce. You can put in the entry string, the exit string. And of course, you also got the ability to change leverage and equity size, trailing buy and sell option configurations, lots of configurations in order to get a better entry and exit out of it. So that's a pretty good thing. And we got an entry signal right now on Ethereum on the 15 minutes chart. And if we take a look at it, and if we enable the ATR, I can tell you where this one is going to get taken out if we reach the price target. So this one here should be, if you would have entered the trade here, the trade is getting closed automatically, probably at 1.11% at the 800 EMA on the 15 minutes chart. So this is definitely a little good scalp on Ethereum we have open right now.
Nice.
And the same thing we got on Ethereum, also pretty good preset for going short. It made since 2017, if you would just let it run, 482% with the current settings, with a leverage of 15 and an equity size of 7%. Also here, we had a good short signal. It was 3.78%. I think above there was also one. Not too good, but this one was taken out a bit too early. But if you would have traded it manually, you would probably have let it run. And then also another super good preset I found is for XMR. This one is actually outstanding. It has an 81% probability of a winning trade. Currently also in a long position. And as you can see, the stats are speaking for themselves, basically. The drawdown, everything is decent, in my opinion, for letting it run and just automating it with free commerce, for example.
Nice. Yeah. All right. So actually, we kind of covered a few of those bases just now of what the signals look like on charts and what the presets look like so they can be messed with. It is important to note that this is something that can be connected to a bot like 3Commas. This can be doing all the, a lot of that work for you when you're turning your head, have a sub account moving around and making some decent trades for you. So yeah, I mean, what else would you like to say about the bot? How long did you work on it? And is there any stuff that you really want to make sure you get out there while we're on the show? Or we can always do another one, I think, in the next few days at the very least, to confirm what this run's looking like.
Anything else? I mean, how long have I been working on it? For the last 2 years, probably. Fine-tuning it, finding the right settings. Finding the settings is pretty time-consuming. So one of my developers, he developed a program, an application to brute force different settings for different assets, because it's not working on every asset out of the box profitable. You have to find the right settings, and then according to the backtester, if it's coming out profitable, then I only trade it. So this is only something that you take in, or basically turn on, if you know it's actually making money based on data.
Where can, if someone goes out there and gets the bot, first off, where can they get the bot? Where can they get this?
So we're going to release it soon on the Discord channel. I think that was our plan.
Yeah. I'm kind of just being an interviewer right now and asking you the questions so that people can know what's up. But yeah, I would say, ladies and gentlemen, tune into the Discord channel. Make sure you're in there so you can be privy to the latest information. Obviously, like I said earlier, the Discord channel, join it anyways, because I've been sick for the past however long now. And it was like I kind of felt like shit. I didn't live stream for like, I think 4 or 5 days in a row, something like that, right? And I kind of felt bad because there wasn't really a place for me to be communicating to anyone, and I literally couldn't even get up. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage you all to join the Discord channel, because like the whole time I could have just, if that Discord channel was active, I could have been communicating regularly, minus my much needed naps. So I would say make sure to join the Discord, and as Fabian said, that's where the bot will become available. And in addition to the bot becoming available out there, he's also made a Discord channel for people that are using it to share their presets that they come across. But Fabian will also be posting his presets that he's using successfully for a number of different assets on specified timescales. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. So we'll go so if you take a look at this here, I'm going to post all of these different settings for whatever currency I'm trading right now, and I'm going to post them in the Discord as in a PDF with the whole description, with a video description, everything. So it's pretty much more self-explaining to everyone and easy to set up.
Hey, can you hear me right now?
Yes, I can hear.
Cool. Sorry, my phone was going off. Good. Someone joined the Discord channel, and that was my phone going off for a notification of that. So everyone join the Discord channel. Honestly, it's going to be the best place, and I really hope this becomes like our community where we can communicate whenever I'm not streaming. I don't know if I'm going to go back to doing the 6-hour streams like I used to back in the day. I don't have my cigar lounge, and I'm just not smoking like that. Whatever, right? I used to. I really did enjoy a lot of those things. Bodyguard asks, will I remain active on Telegram? I mean, this is the thing. Telegram, I like it and all, but Discord is so much more organized. Keep the Telegram one open. I certainly will. And I hope that, I always said, if you needed to talk to me in Telegram, make sure to @me so that I'll get a notification, but no one ever did. So it's like, next thing you know, tons of activity would happen and I wouldn't be getting any notifications. So I really like Discord because I can really focus on a couple channels and What's up, Edward Park? Good to see you in the Discord, man. Glad you joined. Thank you. So that's pretty much my reasoning, is that Telegram, as great as it is, it's just kind of like a big it's good. It's a big group chat. And Discord has a bunch of different channels. We can get pretty serious in some, we can get less serious in others. We can have even a general group chat. We called it the fireside chat, as suggested by Bastardo in the Discord channel. That was his idea to make it a fireside chat. Someone else made the idea, but it was his idea to name it that. So we have some good stuff going on in there. I really like that. And like I said, it's just really well organized. And if I'm if I'm not at my computer, I'm out and about, I get the notification on Discord. Someone says what's up and has a question. I can take a screenshot from my phone, post it in there. It's good for everyone for a specific channel. It's much more organized. So I prefer Discord. All right. I feel like I'm still a little fuzzy headed from being sick and all that. So I hope I'm making sense here, and I'm probably talking too much anyways. But yeah, why don't we do we have any other questions that you guys want to talk about? Any questions about the algo? Any questions about Saz Signals? Any questions about the Discord and the website, sazanalytica.com? Fabian, my partner here, we're literally brothers joining forces in this one, 110%. This is all in for both of us. So you guys, you're getting two solid minds involved in this program. Where I lack, Fabian succeeds. Shit, I keep saying your name differently, man. It's so funny. I keep
Fabian, Fabian,
yeah,
whatever.
Fabian, Fabian.
It's okay.
Yeah, so where I have experience, Fabian might not have experience. Where he has experience in certain things, especially this, I'd have zero experience. And there's a lot of people out there, a lot of traders that need to be doing something different. You want to flip another stone. I think this is actually a fantastic opportunity for everyone. All my friends that have been been in my groups and my friends for quite some time, from the last YouTube channel and all that. I think this is a good opportunity for us all to learn, something, at least see what else is out there, So I'm really happy with this opportunity, and thank you so much, Fabian, for coming on and hitting it with me.
Likewise, I think we're onto something good here.
100%. So without any further questions, I say it looks like a comment here, Q4 rally for BTC, hopefully. Why don't we take that actually and turn it into a question? What are your thoughts on a Q4 BTC rally? What do you think Bitcoin will end the year at? And what do you think is the low that Bitcoin will hit before year's end?
Before year's end, that's a good question. Let's take a look at it. So in my opportunity, before year's end, we will still be tumbling around into this area. I don't think we should not speak about higher highs if we haven't even broken the 30K mark, to be honest.
So it has been a while.
Yeah, it has been too long for now. And given the current economic, outlook, it's not too rosy. And I think we're gonna be, let me take the brush, something like this here.
Interesting.
That would be my guess. Some people need to accumulate more before we really rally up, in my opinion. But
yeah, it's definitely some food for thought.
But honestly, I'm not that kind of person that is liking to give out these kind of predictions. I basically look at my algorithms, I look at my stats, and I look what is tangible, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, nonetheless, thank you for your thoughts. It's always some shots. Look, I'll completely agree with you. If I see someone making very long-term price predictions, to me, that's not much more than a shot in the dark. And the farther out in time you go, it's a shot in the dark while blindfolded, and someone spun you around 3 times and told you to shoot a fucking watermelon a mile away. It starts getting ridiculous at a certain point as to what the accuracy is for someone price predicting such a long-term move. But it is fun. It is fun. I guess let me put it like this. We've been playing with, let's say charts are a game, and price prediction is a game of pool. We've all been playing pool long enough that a couple of us might be able to hit a combo shot here and there. It's not something that we can do every time, but it's something that we might be able to land. So it's always fun to throw it out there and get some insight. Let's see here. So Phil C says no real gains until likely after the halving. I'm going to agree with you on that. Whatever low we hit, Fabian thinking low 20s. Let's say we hit that. Yeah, there's probably a long-term play to set you up from there. There's also going to be a lot of channels that we range in all the way until the halving. So is there sorry, what's up, Ed? Okay, so is there money to be made as a trader between now and the halving? Absolutely. If you're a hodler, I think less likely. I think we were probably destined to walk into the halving around 30K. And that's just based on last halving we were around 10K going into that, 8K. So I can see 30K around there being our entry price to the halving, not to mention the amount of time we spent in this range. I think as far as price discovery goes, this is a well accepted price for Bitcoin. So I think a number of just psychological factors can give me some reason to believe that 30K at the time of halving or before and after for some time, at least 3 months afterward, makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I think if you're a hodler, yeah, you're probably not seeing anything massive to the upside until post halving. And Fabian, what do you have any thoughts on like that the Bitcoin bull run when hodlers should be, a lot of hodlers out there are holding your breath? How much longer do you think they got to hold it?
I mean, it's hard to say, to be honest. As I said, I don't like to give these kind of predictions, but the best guess you can take in terms of, yeah, you need to wait after the halving, to be honest, because then it gets harder to mine, it gets more scarce. That's the only thing. And of course, it also plays, I mean, the US dollar thing is also playing a big thing in this picture.
Why don't you talk about that for a minute? Are you in a hurry?
Me?
Yeah.
In a hurry?
Yeah.
No.
Are you trying to okay. Why don't you take a minute to explain your thoughts on that? Because this is some good fundamentals. And I think honestly, this is a good conversation. So I'm curious about your thoughts on that. We talked a little bit about it in Discord earlier, but would you mind sharing your thoughts on the dollar? And then I'll throw out a couple more questions.
Sure, definitely. I mean, the current situation we got with the BRICS states, I mean, there's currently the war going on between the US and basically China, Russia, etc., who is able to purchase commodities with which currency. So right now we're in between of splitting up the two sides, USD and yuan. I mean, if yuan is getting stronger, US dollar purchasing power is going down. And then of course, as BTC is tangled to the US dollar currently, BTC will also take a hit, in my opinion. So, and if this is going to happen within let's say the next year or next 2 years, then the halving might not have such a big impact on price, in my opinion.
Certainly a possibility. I think we're going to stick to the formula. Obviously, everything works until it doesn't, which is, could be the greatest rug pull halving we've ever seen. But I actually think it would be one heck of a narrative to cap the bull market. Like that narrative is something that could definitely be the top of the bull market. Last time it was Elon Musk is going to take Dogecoin and Bitcoin payments for Teslas, and mass adoption was the name of the game years ago. And now Twitter and everything that I've seen in crypto is like so sleepy. I've never seen it this sleepy before. And I think it's very possible the next run is going to be fueled by the halving. We'll take a look at the narrative and see what's really running in the background to establish the fundamental reason why the run took off. And honestly, I think it doesn't matter what that is. At the end of the day, it is going to be whales, and it is going to be psychological triggers of the masses. But I'm always curious to see what they say has caused all that. And then and then we cap out to some sort of news. And like I was just bringing up the Elon Musk thing last time, what really started the rundown was Elon Musk saying never mind, and then MicroStrategy saying, well, we're going to sell, and rumors of that, rumors of Elon Musk selling, and rumors that weren't rumors at a certain point, they're reality. So yeah, anyways, just some interesting stuff there. Now, Bodyguard, you would think a Fed pause is bullish. One green candle could change the mood. Fabian, any thoughts?
Can you repeat it?
Absolutely. From Bodyguard, he says, you would think the Fed pause is bullish. One green candle can change the mood.
Oof. Actually, I don't have any thoughts about that.
Okay.
Can't say.
My thoughts are that I will agree with part 2 of that. That one green candle could change the mood. One red candle is all it was that changed the mood at the end of the day. So 100%, one green candle. In fact, that's what started us in January, was one green candle. Buying our way out of heck. Obviously a couple big red candles in the not too distant past year, over the past month and a half, have capped us out. We had a run down, a massive single candle move down. We had a attempt back out of the hole, and then we had another single candle move back down. So yeah, it's actually 100% agree with you. Mel, 25 has good support under this, lasts a lot longer. Spot ETF deadline is October 17th. If they push it forward, I believe it goes into effect beginning 2024. ETF, interesting. Fabian, if you have any thoughts, you want to jump in. I'm just going to read these off, and if you have anything you want to comment on, just jump in. Okay. Phil C. Novogratz seems to think October will be the month for the spot ETFs. I don't know. I really don't think Gensler is going to approve it all. Well, keep in mind, governments and certain figures within governments, they answer to corporations. We all know by now that corporations are a step above. So if BlackRock wants an ETF, they're making the ETF. Unfortunately, every other company before this, as early as 2017 and possibly earlier, whoever's attempted this has failed because they didn't have influence. But now we're dealing with a company with influence, undoubtedly, right? So if they want it to happen, it happens. Bodyguard says, Joe, do you remember the last cycles we traded a lot? April, May 2020, peak activity in the Telegram group and streams. Yeah, Bodyguard, that was actually some of my favorite times, man. I really do miss that. And that's what I'm hoping we bring back. I have been streaming consistently, minus a couple illness and this and that, but I do hope that we get that all back, because I do miss the group we had, the community we had, the talks we had going on, and we talked about everything, so it's all back on the table as far as I'm concerned. Might have to use a couple different words for a couple different topics than we've used in the past, but same Joe, same fucking crazy motherfucker sitting in front of you guys right now. So happy to get back involved in all that. And always happy to share any thoughts and insights into the world beyond technical analysis, especially noting that as analysts, it is our job to analyze absolutely everything. In fact, you should know what people are thinking before they say it. 95% of communication is nonverbal. We're analysts to the highest order. I encourage you all to think like that all the time. Bodyguard, again, in your opinion, Joe, what was the real top of BTC? Because some serious analysts say April 2021 was the real top. November 2021 was more of a retrace scam pump. Bodyguard, my answer to that is it's real because it's real. But the whole time I was also saying this is a false all-time high. It was a fake all-time high, but it's real because you could sell your Bitcoin for that price. But yeah, absolutely, it was a scam in my eyes. It was a scam run. You know what, Fabian, what are your thoughts on that? The false all-time high. After we all-time high'd, we've never really done this in Bitcoin before, where we all-time high and then we come back months later after the $30,000 crash. We come back months later to create that next all-time high. Do you have any thoughts on that? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's super sketchy.
Yeah.
Again, it is just scaring the shit out of retail traders, getting their money, driving price up again, building short positions at the highest possible point in the charts, and filling their pockets again, driving price down, stealing from the retail. That's what it's all about in the end. So they need to change their game basically in order to make it more unpredictable as unpredictable as possible.
And you're saying this was an example of them changing their game, a second all-time high out of nowhere after
Definitely.
30K
I mean,
breakdown. Yeah,
we never had it like this. We never had it like this. It all every time it was like
it was
below
a
the
bull trap.
all-time high. The
Yeah, it
dead
was a
cat
bull trap.
bounce,
Every other
basically.
time before it, it was a classic bull trap. Couldn't have been more
Yeah.
of a beautiful looking bull trap. And this one was like, I'm just gonna straight up agree with you. It was super sketchy, like you said, and but hey, it was real. It was certainly real. So I mean, what more can you say, right? Moving along, Edward Park says we had bullish divergence on the weekly at 15.5, which got us 31.8. Now we have a bear divergence on the weekly from 31.8. Interesting. I don't really put too much weight on divergences, RSI, um, stuff like that. I do notice them. Is it something that, like, let me put it like this, Bodyguard. You mentioned that it happened twice. And I'm not trying to discredit anything here. I'm just trying to help you to think, strong strategy here. I'd be curious. You mentioned that it worked once before, and it's about 50% into working right now, right? I'd be curious to know how many times before this, in the past 10 times out of the past 10 times that we've seen a bullish bearish divergence on the weekly RSI, has it panned out? And I almost consider what happened to be a black swan event with the crash. I'm just curious how many times we've seen this happen though, because I like patterns, but I like my patterns to have a lot of back tests. So I'm curious if you've done that. If you have, please share. I'm curious to hear what you got to say. Bodyguard says true. 17th August, red candle turned the mood bearish. Yeah, 100%. And it was a single candle move. And again, I mean, look at what happened. We went sideways for so long, and like there was absolutely no one that wanted to play sideways other than just nothing but pumps and dumps. Straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, back to the freaking median. So I don't think that's I think it is suggestive of the wider market. Does retail really move the price? Sometimes, yes. In this case, what was going on, I think it was whales splashing around. If anything, it was whales fighting whales and bigger whales beating the shit out of little smaller whales. But the psychology was certainly bearish. And if you get enough of that psychology going on, you get enough people believing that they have to sell, then you got yourself a retail frenzy falling right into the trap that the whales have been setting up. So that's probably 100% what they would like to happen. Okay. Jackknife. What is the best resource to measure the amount of new money coming into the market each month? Any idea on this dollar number? Fabian, why don't you do you have any thoughts on that? You're muted, or I don't know if you're
Oh
muted,
no,
but
I'm not muted. I'm just thinking. To measure the amount, I mean, the best way to measure it would be somehow through the blockchain. I'm not sure how these tools are called, but I can remember there's a website out there where I can see the flow of money coming into certain exchanges. I'm gonna look it up and I will post it then into the Discord channel.
sounds good. Thank you very much. And that being said, make sure that you join the Discord channel. It's going to be the shit. It already is. It's going to be where we talk and do all our fun stuff. Hurley, I see you just joined. Make sure you're in the Discord channel, Hurley. Much love to you all. Join the Discord. I really love the Discord. We'll be posting all that kind of shit there. And honestly, this thing could be running, guys. Like this is probably one of the longest and best streams that we've had in a while. I'm talking comments running. It's great to have a guest here, a brother, a guest, a great time. So I say we keep it rolling here for a bit, Fabian, but I do want to really make note of the fact that hit the website, sazanalytica.com, join the Discord channel. The link is in Telegram group. The link is all over the place below the video, all kinds of stuff. So you guys join the Discord, because we can basically be having the same exact type of fun in one other place. And I as much as I do want to stream for 6 hours a day, it might not be happening anytime soon. So I'm just getting real used to Discord. All right, so the best resource to measure new money. I think Crypto Face did come up with something good in Market Cipher. I think that does a good job measuring money. I don't know everything there is to know. And actually, Fabian brought on a really good point about on-chain analysis, which to me is almost a complete and total scam as a standalone indicator, created by or made famous by Willy Woo. I really think that it's the biggest fucking scam as an indicator. Is probably a good way to know a little bit about what's going on in the market and in the cryptocurrency space. It's not bad information to have, but as an indicator, I would absolutely not put more than 2% of my decision making on that. But I am curious to see what Fabian has to come up with as far as money flow.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, how certain can you be that those numbers are correct? Who is making these numbers up?
Like, first off, look, if we see an influx of money going into an exchange and it's confirmed by a blockchain explorer, whatever, sure, that's data, all right. And let's say that it's all blockchain based data. Well, that's legitimate data that can't be altered in any way, shape, or form. And we have good information. Say we get that information and say that information is absolutely flawless. All that tells me is that exchanges may be more liquid than illiquid, or more illiquid at other times. There are phases in Bitcoin trading history where daily volume is in the 1,000 Bitcoin range, and then and maybe even 100, and then there's days where it's in the 40,000 Bitcoin traded per day range. So the fact that Bitcoin moves onto or off exchanges isn't telling me much, because price has moved very far, very fast, with tons and tons of Bitcoin on exchanges, and it's moved equally as far and fast without Bitcoin on exchanges. So to me, it's just absolute fucking horseshit analysis. You can't do anything with it, but you might be able to say, okay, we're about to be entering a turbulent next period of time in the market, right? I'm just trying to tell you the best thing that I can come up with. Can you say with certainty that Bitcoin moving on to exchanges means they're all going to sell? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on something like that, and you guys know I get passionate about this shit, because we've all dealt with a lot of shit in the Bitcoin community about people that say price is going to do whatever the fuck it's going to do, and they have no skin in the game, or they're consistently wrong. And I encourage you guys to listen to people with skin in the game who are not consistently wrong. So that's all my point is. Okay. Edward Park, never seen that before. Okay, let's see. God, October 17th, Mel says, yep. Jackknife, if BTC stays about 26K, there need to be 702 million in buy pressure each month to keep the price stable from block rewards. Okay. Add 400 million in sales from FTF bankruptcy per month. Yeah. Jackknife, we are talking about a global asset here. So as wild as those numbers are, if you have millions of people across the globe buying $110 a week, what does that look like, right? So I think it's possible, but I still think what we're dealing with right now is a stone skipping across the water. The stone is pretty close to hitting the water again. I mean, we're not far off the mark. We went to 26,000 flat on a wick just yesterday, wasn't it? Or this morning or something. So the stone is still skipping across the water. We have not made it out the hole. What I do like is that this particular run, where we've bought our way out of a lower low, is that we've spent time establishing the rungs of each part of the ladder, versus a month ago when we went straight the fuck up, or earlier this month when we went straight up and tried to buy our way out and then went straight down like a day or two later. That's not an ideal situation in terms of price discovery. You haven't given the market any time to build liquidity anywhere new. All you've done was rip the order book to the downside. Maybe some sellers have chased the book. You rip it right back up to the upside. No buyers have chased the book. Psychology was absolutely desperate. No one was able to chase that run. No one was stacking orders in the book. Maybe we had a little bit of signals, but it was a totally illiquid order book, considering it's been shredded in both directions heavily. So it was almost void of static orders, completely nuked to the downside right after that little relief run. Now, in this particular case, we've had steps back up. We took the elevator down and we're taking steps back up. That gives buyers a minute to put liquidity back in the book. That gives people time to say, oh, there's orders in the book. I better put my order in front of their orders. Otherwise, I'm not going to get filled. Once you have that psychology of the competition to buy and people start competing and place their orders at higher and higher price points, the order book will stack with liquidity, at which point it takes a lot more sell pressure, a lot more dollars, or let's say a lot more Bitcoins to hit the market and knock the price down. So, yeah. Do you, Fabian, if there's anything you want to say, man, just jump in. So, so is there any evidence that 1.1 billion in new money is entering the market each month just to keep the price flat? I don't know. I don't really look for that. Fabian's taking a look at, that. Maybe we'll post in the Discord and we can take the discussion there. I think that's actually a great idea. I trade perps. I don't trade futures, and very periodically I'll trade spot. But if I'm gonna, I trade perps, guys, and just right now trying to navigate the waters of KYC. They're obviously making it difficult for certain people to trade. So all right. Bodyguard Joe, there's one account on X who claims as long as BTC holds 24,800 support, we will pump to new all-time highs in 2023. Many months ago, he said new high in October, so his reputation is on the line. Yeah, Bodyguard, this is the thing, man. I think there's a lot of good analysts out there. There's a lot of shit analysts out there. I've certainly made a lot of really good calls, and you all have seen it. I've won first place in trading competitions in front of you guys. I've called the top, called the breakdown to 30K, called the bear market bottom of 14.5, and we were off that by 1,000, and I made that call in 2020. Everyone, there's a lot of good people out there. I've also made shit calls. You guys have seen me get liquidated before your very eyes. March 12th, 2020, who was live on freaking trading, and you guys saw me get fucking nuked. You guys saw me get absolutely nuked on March 12th, the COVID crash. I had made every trade perfect until that day. I exited the long at unconfiscatable, Tones event, unconfiscatable, February 2020. I exited at 10,250, exited my second half of my position at like 10,000 flat, and I re-entered my long at 7,500, only to get fucking liquidated. So you guys look, so there's a lot of good traders out there, a lot of good analysts out there. And every once in a while, you're going to make a shit call. The goal is make a lot more good ones and make sure that you're shifting money aside so that you don't lose it all. That was my big mistake. March 12th, I got liquidated for everything that I'd also earned trading January, February, and that first half of March. So we all saw me learn that lesson a very hard way. So as quick as I am to rip some people for their inauthenticity or their inconsistencies, I'm also quick to be forgiving in that sense, because I don't know if some people's track record. So respect to a lot of people out there. This is a tough game, especially if you're putting your face out there, especially if you're putting your your reputation on the line. Look, it's hard enough to trade as it is, and if you're trading in your garage, in your basement, and you don't have any stress in the world, you got let's just say, as far as that goes, you have an emotional bag value weight of 0. Put your face on a price call and put that on the internet. You just added a few notches to that. Put the fact that now for a fact other people are relying on you to make price calls. You can add a bit more weight to that bag. Look, every step that you take, putting a price call out there, is putting weight on your shoulders. So it is important to have respect for certain people out there, and to say, all right, a couple hits isn't a big deal. Is October going to produce a new all-time high? No idea. Do I see it happening? Probably not. Do I think we could reclaim 29K? Do I disagree with Fabian here? Yes. For now, I do. The facts, according to me, are that, according to my charts, are that 29K is our next stop, and it's going to take us time to get there. So I don't see an all-time a yearly high. Let's say I do not see a yearly high this month. If anything, I see in the month of October. If anything, what I would see over the next few weeks is a move back to 29K in the same consistency that we've been going at for the past maybe week and a half or something like that, slow and steady, right? That's probably the best way for us to recover that lost ground. And it's probably also the most likely way for us to cover that lost ground. So, do I think we're going to go to Fabian's target of 22.5, 22, 23K range? I don't have reason to believe that yet. Fabian does, and so we got three analysts between your comment, Fabian, and myself, with three different things going on: a new yearly high, a 22,000. Let's just round it off to 22,000, 23,000, right? 22,000 move to the downside roughly this month, or a slow grind to 29K. You got three different answers from three different people right now. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens, and just always make sure that when you trade, you are planning. You hope to be right, but you plan to be wrong. That's the name of the game. It's the name of the game. You got to make sure that you minimize your losses, but you prepare for them. And you can't freaking see a loss hit the chart and then say, well, this time I'm going to let it ride. Oh man, I've made the past 9 trades in a row. We're good. Oh, I didn't do this time. I didn't do this that time. What? You have to be a little bit of a robot. You got to be very mechanical about this shit. So just be wise, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. You know what? I'm going to throw this one at you, Fabian. Seems like the market makers are just playing with our emotions. As long as the higher low still holds, we just have to wait and see to keep the hope alive. Just think of the last 24 hours. Price drop, people turn bearish, then prices reversed again, people and hope return. So, Fabian, with all that's going on, obviously you have your bias, you have your signal telling you we're short until otherwise noted, and you have a target. What are your thoughts on that comment? It seems like the market makers are just playing with our emotions, and as long as the higher low holds, we have to wait and keep our hope alive.
I mean, yeah, definitely. It is just an emotions game, driving people into making the wrong decisions. Yeah, as I already said, there is tons of liquidity that can be grabbed, which has been left over by market makers. So they have to drive price down at some point. When is it going to happen? No one can tell. Only the people behind it, basically. We can just plan for a move. That's what we can do.
Yeah. It is a game of emotions. Yeah, 100%. What you said, man, that was really interesting. It's a good way to put it. So yeah, you're right. We'll just have to wait and see. Thanks for your insight there. Real talk, LT, we go under 25 on bullish, but I do see the possibility for lower. Yeah, look, I think if we go below 25, in fact, at this point, the stone is skipping across the water. And if we go back there, I'm more and more convinced that if we go back there, just as the stone is skipping across the water, at some point it will plunge. And yeah, I don't think we're going straight to 20K. I think we're going to probably above 22. I would say around 23. The book is pretty thick with orders all the way down to 20 flat. I can see an emotion getting the better of people and causing a frenzy, triggering stop losses, causing a pretty steep run to move far and fast. But far and fast from 25K doesn't need to be $10,000 or $15,000 or 20, right? There's stops along the way. And I think the most immediate destination of 25K were to fail convincingly, that really leads us to a like, heading down south. I think 22, 23K is our first stop along the way, 100%. So, you guys, we're going to wrap it up here soon. I do see a lot of comments rolling in. So you guys, this is what always kept me on the streams. This is how my first streams went from one cigar to 6 cigars back to back. It was the comment section going wild. So I'm definitely happy you guys are here. Now, unfortunately, I can't smoke right now though, and even if I can, I can't smoke in here. Anyways, Fed paused on 20th September. I hear people say 27th September crash, no idea why. Most of the time, 1 week after the Fed does something, we get a reversal, pump it on 27 to wreck bears. Yeah, that's all speculation stuff. I like it, but nothing concrete. You would think they don't want to drop the price yet to grab that liquidity because they don't want to give a good BTC price to the plebs. Yeah, maybe somewhere in the future, a quick look down. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but look, I don't think they really think about us that much, man. I think they do what they're gonna do, and they kind of know that the majority of people, it's like the lottery ticket, right? No one gives it. Go ahead, Fabian.
The reality is the pleb is never getting a good price. It won't happen. It's
Yeah. You're
unless you
never
don't
gonna buy the
have
bottom.
unless you don't have a solid system, unless you don't understand the statistics, I don't think that you will ever get a good price in any market,
Yeah.
honestly.
No one here is going to be buying bottoms perfectly. But I will say this, Bitcoin is basically the psychology of lottery tickets. No one gives a shit about them, and then the second the news says that the lottery is at $500 million, then people that don't normally go buy lottery tickets go buy lottery tickets. That's really the most significant thing that happens in Bitcoin. Other than that, other than the frenzy of mass number of people who don't normally buy assets like this are getting involved, other than that, there isn't much of an anomaly with Bitcoin. And we get that to happen once every 4 years or something like that, right? 2017, 2020, 2021, 2024, probably 2024, 2025. We're probably going to stick right along the pattern there. But yeah, can always count on greed. Great point, LT. Well, guys, I'm going to stop the screen share here. Why don't we wrap it up here? I need to drink some water and blow my nose and lay on the couch for a bit. So Fabian, why don't you say a quick goodbye? Where can we find you? Obviously Discord, but I'm just gonna give you the opportunity to say some of these things. And so why don't you wrap it up, say goodbye, and then where can we find you?
Yeah, so thank you. Pleasure for having you all here. It was my first live stream. Got a little bit excited. And if you got any questions, please feel free to join the Discord. I will be there pretty active, and we're going to plan to upload all of the indicators and algorithms on Sunday next week. We also got a support ticketing system where you can ask questions if you got any. And yeah, hope to see you soon.
Excellent.
Stay profitable, of course.
Yeah, stay profitable, 110%.
Exactly.
I will say thank you all so much for tuning in. This is probably one of the better streams we've had in a while. Fabian, thanks so much for joining me as my guest here. It was a great show. I truly appreciate your insights and education and the talk of what you specialize in, algo, programming stuff. Obviously not my pay grade, but I think it's always been an interesting topic, and thanks for your insights there and showing us what you bring to the table. Everyone, thank you so much for your comments today and tuning in. Really appreciate all your guys' time. The comments were rolling how they used to, and this is what I miss the most. Honestly, my streams have been just not nearly as fun without you guys. It's that's why I kind of do that quick show. And if we're going to be around a lot, we'll figure out a longer show. It looks like this is the right time of day to be running a longer content format. So maybe it's going to be a short show in the morning, and then a longer show in the evening. But we'll figure it out, guys. This has been great. I appreciate all you, Bodyguard, LT, Jackknife. I saw you guys up there, Big Ugly, Mel, everyone, Edward, so many of you up there. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for jumping into the comments and throwing something at me. I need something to talk about, guys. So thanks for throwing stuff at me. I always appreciate it, and that's always been how I've operated. So thank you so much, everyone. On
Thank
that
you,
note,
guys.
yeah, have a great evening. Do your push-ups and your sit-ups. Turn the shower water cold. Take some vitamin C or some shit, because you guys, people are getting sick. So whatever, you're gonna get sick, but just take some vitamin C. It might help make it not last as long. Be smart, do whatever you got to do, peeps. Anyways, much love to you all, and Fabian, stick around. I'm just gonna end the stream, and then we'll be able to Sean's in for 1 minute, and then we'll wrap it up. But everyone else, I'll be catching you guys on the next stream tomorrow morning, and then we'll maybe do another lounge type stream in the evening. Much love to you all. All right, everyone. Peace.